YouTube.com/that'srank. Probably one of your top two YouTube channels you want to subscribe to, the other being ours at BlastTheRadio.com. But the man responsible for That's Rank is Chris Fothergill-Brown, who puts his belly on the line for the betterment of society and tests all the weird food that is out there. Welcome back to the show, Chris.
Thank you, John. And I actually have a serious question for you today.
You always do.
Well, I want to know what your thoughts are on the fake meat industry as a whole.
I mean, Chris, where do I begin? I think the fake meat industry is a bunch of baloney.
Okay, well.
I'm such a ham.
You are, and unfortunately,
you thought I'd chicken out of that, didn't you, you turkey?
I like where you're going. Let me take my question a step further then, since you're giving me some non-answers. Let's suppose then that I offered you a chance to eat meat, real, true, red-blooded meat that didn't come from an animal. Let's say I promised you it was the exact same chicken that you eat today, but it didn't come from a chicken. Would you eat it?
But it's not chicken, no.
But I'm telling you, it's chicken. If I said that it was chicken, it just didn't come from a chicken, would you eat it?
No.
Well, you might have to, because we're well on our way to reaching that point. And it starts with a man named Josh Tetrick. Good friend of the show, regular BTR listener, Josh Tetrick. Hi, Josh. How are you doing this morning? Now, or this afternoon, whenever you're listening to the show. Now, he's the CEO of a startup called Eat Just, and his company is working on a process of cultivating real animal meat products, but from inside of a lab. The sector has received over $2 billion in funding from investors, with more coming out this year as they research the ability to do this. And they're also trying to lobby for regulatory approval in both the USA and Canada, because it turns out the government, and this is the same government, I remind you, who have okayed the sale of Eggo-flavored Pop-Tarts, they're a little squeamish by this whole idea of genetically processed meat. Basically, they do it through the utilization of cells from animal biopsies, either from a fresh piece of meat or a cell bank. And with that, they don't actually require a physical animal. They just utilize the nutrients required to feed the cell and make it grow inside of a bioreactor. The long-term goal of companies like Eat Just is to reduce the harmful effects that mass farming has on the environment and climate change, but they still need to optimize their process to reduce costs. They sell their chicken in Singapore today, but the cost to produce the chicken is quite high, so it's costing more for the nuclear meat than the usual method by taking a chicken and just utilizing that. The idea, though, is if they can get it on par at the same cost, it eliminates the need for our global farming systems. And John, if you've seen the way some of the meat chickens are raised, for example, for that alone, it's way better to have this laboratory-produced meat. Now,
not sure I'm agreeing with you, and I'm sitting here thinking I'm so far sticking with my original answer that no, I don't want to eat, as you described it, as nuclear meat.
But if you're getting the exact same thing, I'm just sort of wondering where the...
But am I?
You would be, because it's from the same cells that the animal comes from. It's just grown a completely different way. Instead of being grown on a chicken, it's grown separate from the chicken itself.
I can't. No.
I bet if you didn't know the difference, though, you'd be perfectly okay with it.
See, and that's how the sausage is made. That's how you get me. You just don't tell me what it is, right? Going back to when Mom was trying to put vegetables in front of me. Don't tell me what it is.
Just mix it into the meatloaf. Yeah, then you're good to go.
See? Now you're a dad, you know.
Absolutely. I got to do it with my son all the time. If it's not in chicken nugget flavored form, he won't eat it. But now, what I'm curious to see with this laboratory meat is the degree of control they can actually get over it. Because if they can accurately produce a well-marbled steak and sell it to me for a reasonable price, bring on the mystery meat as far as I'm concerned. Eat Just and your team of evil supervillain scientists. Come on. But to be honest, admittedly, I'm singing their praises in the event anything goes wrong in that bioreactor. I want to be on the good side of our new raw meat overlords.
I am curious what the listener thinks of this one. And we've not done this on your segment before, but would you, the listener or viewer, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, would you eat nuclear meat? Would you prefer that over conventional ways that we source meat now? Let us know. Milky, MILKY, at BlastTheRadio.com. I would be interested in your comments. But it's a no for me, Chris. But I thank you for enlightening us nonetheless, which is what his whole channel is about. YouTube.com/that'srank.